Hey everybody, meteorologist Jim Caldwell here, and I'm just jumping on for a few minutes. Now, there's no active like severe weather that's pressing, but I'll tell you what, we've got some pretty rough stuff out there with some of the flooding that I've seen so far. So we're going to just kind of go over that here in just a second, just to talk about what's happening out there with some of these storms that have passed through over the past couple of days. It's been rough. Okay, let's just throw it up here. This is like again just a little update for you. And what we've got right there is some active warnings that are showing up across several different areas. You can see that. And I'm trying to get the perfect mode here. There we go. So what we're looking at right now is some of that rain that's still passing through the area. But it's been rough. I mean, I'm going to show you some pictures here in a minute that people have submitted to me, and we'll look at them. But check out some of the intensity on some of that rain that's out there right now, and you got a whole batch of flash flood warnings that are also posted across a big part of Kentucky too. So with those being out there and all these issues we're finding, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it really is. All right, I'm going to flip this around. We're going to look at some of the totals. We're going to look at some of the actual flash flood warnings that have been showing up out there. I know some of you needed rain, some of you did not, especially when you see some of these totals. They're just incredible. They're incredible with what's fallen, and then it was already wet anyway. So let's take down that radar for just a second, and as we do that, we will we'll take a better look at what's going on with some of the rain. Let me go over here to the flood alerts here, guys, and then we'll see. First of all, look at that. That right there is a flood threat. And that's an analysis provided by the Weather Prediction Center where they say that some of the heaviest rain is likely to fall the rest of the day now. So you see there's a bullseye in red. So that includes several communities, as you already noticed. Obviously, so it's shifted a little bit more to the south compared to where it was. So this is kind of the targeted zone now for some of the heaviest rain throughout the rest of this run throughout the day today. So that's what we've got here for you. So you're looking from Owensboro to E-Town to Campbellsville, Glasgow, Bowling Green, into Monticello, Somerset, Russell Springs, Jamestown, Liberty, Stanford. Just to name a few. I'm just looking at the map, and they're not plotted, but I'm just naming them as I see them. But that's what we've got. So that's the zone that likely sees more of that heavy rain here over the next several hours, most likely, with the way this is all coming down. Here's what we've got with our active flood warnings. See, they stretch all the way back. Check this out. They stretch all the way back toward southern Indiana, and then they get into Kentucky, and they're actually going into Illinois as well. And then they get here into Kentucky. So you see a whole bunch of them that have been issued out there. Okay. That already includes Bardstown. It includes Danville, includes Richmond, includes Mount Vernon. It's outside of Mount Vernon, includes parts of Rockcastle County. This gets into Irvin as well. I mean, I can plot all these. These go through 2 o'clock. That one for Garrett County goes through 1:15. Lincoln, northern Lincoln, through 5 o'clock. Casey County through 5 o'clock, because it's just a tremendous amount of rain that has fallen out there. Okay. Washington County through 1 o'clock. It's 12:30 right now, but some of those issues could still kind of linger on. Some of the high water issues could linger on for a while. But notice the trajectory on the way these are going. They're moving more toward the south and east. So I mean, the next folks that can line up with some heavier rain are going to be out here toward Hazard and beyond. So and that was the concern yesterday. If you were this late last night, we were late last night. We were talking about it. Is what the problem was. Okay, I mean, we just had the perfect ingredients, because these storms, these showers and storms, because you've heard thunder rumbling all day, they just rolled over the same spot again and again and again and again. And when you get that kind of situation going, you get oversaturation, and you run into some of the flooding that we have seen, and it's plentiful out there. Sadly, it really is. But those are the counties currently under warnings, meaning there is an active flood warning in place. Okay, there's some active flash flooding or flooding that's happening in all of those areas right now. In this particular case, it's almost completely verifiable throughout everywhere. Okay, now let's get you back to. Oh no, let me show you the rainfall. Let me show you the rainfall. Let me jump over to that too. And as we look at it, you can see there's your active. We've got the warnings turned on here too. So you've got the warnings, and then you've also got all of that rain that's pressing through. And just check this out, okay? Let me back it up here a little bit so you can see it somewhat better. And as we do, this takes you back an hour or so. Watch those showers, those thunderstorms just roll over the same spot. And yes, there's lightning out there, so I just didn't have it turned on. So these are definitely some thunderstorms too. There's not the severe kind. Okay, it's a very low end. If somebody popped a severe, it'd be really, really hard to do today. But I can't say it won't happen. I'm just saying the likelihood is still pretty low of it. But those out there right now are just turning along and just more of a high water concern. Okay, that's what most of this is, especially in those areas that have already been hit and been hit pretty hard by some of this rain. Check out what we've got here. Let me pull up the accumulation here, and just over the past 12 hours of rain. This is just 12 hours. Now, these are radar estimates, okay? But let me tell you, they're probably really close to some of the actual values. So, like, let's go out here for a second. We're going from Brandenburg toward like Bardstown. Check that out, okay? Look at these numbers. Look at some of these numbers, estimates. Now they're going to be a bit overwhelming. Sometimes they're overdone, but suggesting as much as 9 inches. Okay. Now the ground truth might be a little bit different, but look at what this is also suggesting. And in some cases, it could very well be true. But this is how much rain has fallen in the past 12 hours in all of these spots. Okay. That is what we're looking at. 9 inches, 10 inches, 11 inches. It's incredible. And it wouldn't shock me if some of those were pretty close to reality. Really, you get a little bit more toward the east, where we've had some issues. I've had all kinds of pictures and other information come in from out of Mercer County, so around Harrodsburg here. And over the past 12 hours, you've just had 3, but you got waterlogged. As a matter of fact, here's what I'll do. I'll move that off, and I will actually go to a 24-hour map, and boom. Now you see why. Maybe that's what I should have started with. Now you see why, because these totals just really got ramped up quite a bit, right? So over the past 24 hours, when it was all raining, we had waves yesterday too. Now we look at places like Mercer County, and you've had 5 inches in the past 24 hours. Some of you that have written me on Facebook have said, actually, we've had more than that. That's what some of them are saying. Some of the actual gauges in the 24-hour period. Now, again, these numbers are going to look very, very wild, but nonetheless, that's what it's suggesting. And there's certainly some flooding to back up some of this, but that's just incredible numbers. You get out into Richmond, where they're having ridiculous flooding, 24 hours of this right here, and you're looking at roughly 6 inches. I say that's a very fair rainfall estimate for that area. Sand Gap, I'm going to show you some pictures from Jackson County here in a few minutes. 24 hours ago, and look what you've got. You've got roughly 5 inches of rain. That says 4.9. It's just hidden behind the 5.2. You get into Garrett County, 6 inches. So this has been a lot of rain, y'all. This is why there's flash flooding and flooding ongoing throughout our entire area. That's why we've got a whole pack of flash flood warnings that are active here in the area, and it's rough. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to take you straight to what I have shared on Facebook already today, and we'll just pull it full screen. We'll put it over our weather graphics, because this is the way I know how to do it. Okay, and it's whatever works. This was along 68 Harrodsburg Road in Jessamine County earlier. Now, I do not encourage this. I do not encourage you going through high water ever, because that road might not be there. It's you don't know, but nonetheless, the video's here, and it does show the dramatic effect of what happened out there. Okay, but look at that. Look at how high that water is on whatever that vehicle might be. It doesn't matter. But again, try not to do that, y'all. This, I'm being told, this is out of Mercer County. This is around Harrodsburg, Cardinal Drive, I believe. And there, they say it's a drainage issue. And if you look at that water is just kind of sitting. It's not really flowing. So that could certainly back up that belief. But I've had several people say that as well. But there you see it in some homes, around some homes, surrounding a lot of folks. I mean, it's just been tough there. And look how tranquil it is almost at that particular moment. And then here's another view of it. Look at how high it is on that basketball goal. It's in that garage too that you're seeing there by those gentlemen off in the distance. And then this woman lost. I mean, she lost chickens, she lost buckets, she lost all kinds of stuff out of her garage, and it's just a big old mess. And then you can see how high it is on that building. This white line right here is about waist high to most people, somewhere there about. Okay, so that's what it's got. But now let's look at this. Whichever. Okay, this is Highbridge, the Highbridge area, and that's called the Highbridge Church, I'm told. And this is close to the entrance of the Highbridge Springs, the water folks there. Again, this is what I was told. Jamie Summer shared this, and there you see how that water was stacking up there on top of them as well. This is at the Eastern Bypass and at Urban Road. So that's Man. The Man dealership over there off in the distance that you see up high, that's Man. And then running back this way right here is the bypass. So that take you back toward like 75. Okay. So, and then you go this way where this cop car, where that police officer is sitting, going back this way would take you into town. Okay. Would take you back toward campus and all that. That's a photo there that Chris Stifler shared with me earlier. And then this one. Now, there's a blur on it because this was a screenshot of a FaceTime. Okay, that's what this is. And you've got that right there. I've covered up somebody's face because I didn't want them to, be out here and saying, look at this, though. Around the pool, around the ducks. This is in McKee. This is in McKee in Jackson County. So already seeing that high water. He's out there trying to probably save his truck and get it out of harm's way. No doubt about that. And then this is close to where we were just then. And you can see how the water is flowing. See, it's those places right there that water's flowing at a ridiculous rate. It can knock you off your feet. It can float your car. I don't care how big and tough you think your car is. It can take you. Okay, that's what we've got. So that's just some of the stuff that I've seen here over the past few hours, and I just felt it necessary to come on here and just talk a little bit about it so you can see what's going on the rest of the day, because we certainly have more action that's out there. It's just not action for everyone per se, not to the magnitude that we've had thus far. So let's go back to our radar situation currently, and there you see all of the rain, and that's pretty heavy. I'm going to show you I'm going to show you some measurements. I'm going to show you some data that takes us into the future, that plays it out a little while. But you get these repeaters like this. And that's what turns into such an issue for a lot of us out there. They just keep going over the same spot again and again and again. That training effect is what you hear us call it. That's because, think about it. Think about if you just kept pouring water in the same bucket, okay, or the same cup. Let's just say for a cup, you just kept pouring it in there, and you take a break for a second, and then you pour it in a little more, and then you take a break. Eventually, it fills up, right? Because it doesn't have any time for any of it to evaporate or anything. Well, that's what's happening here. We're filling them up, and then we're filling them up, and then we're filling them up, and it never gets any relief. So that's a lot of what's happening out there with all of these today. But there you got a good coverage of all of it. I'll pull up one of the models too, so you can see. But to see, and again, also there's thunderstorm activity out there too. So it's it's got its own other set of dangers. I know you folks there in Casey County, you've been asking a lot for some rain. Hopefully that you don't get any flooding down there. However, there is a flash flood warning in the northern part of the county, but hopefully it's kind of helps you out quite a bit, because there's a decent amount of rain out there. Okay, so that is what you have right there, and then it goes all the way back. Now this runs out of radar sight visibility because it goes beyond the horizon, so to speak. But I mean, this atmosphere is just soaking wet already. Plenty of moisture, plenty more rain to come. Okay, for all these areas. Now let's take a little trip into the future. Okay, so your warnings again. And what I'm going to do for you now is we're going to open this up, and we're going to go down the road just a little bit with our precipitation and how it's going to look here in the next little bit. All right, so there's that's pretty close to current, actually. That's really close, and that's still taking it out to 130, which is roughly an hour away. Let me change one more thing here, guys. Okay, got it. So we'll walk you through this. So watch like Campbellsville and areas like that. That was kind of in the target of that next round of heavy rain and more flooding. Well, watch how you're getting those repeaters down there, more showers, more storms. Well, wait a minute, we're not finished. There's stuff that's still out to our west that likely travels over the same spots again. So you'll get a window. There's certainly going to be a window from Russell Springs down to Campbellsville, up to Lebanon, all those spots. But then it picks up again later on into the nighttime and into the early morning hours. See that? Just repeat one after the other. That's as far as that model's going to run. It just takes us out that far. But you see my point. You see why there's so much concern, because you don't have a lot of time to dry out. I mean, here's that round. It's going through Somerset, Corbin, Williamsburg, Barberville at 5 o'clock, and then at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, it's right back in there again at 10. So you get 4 or 5 hours of dry time when it's already soaked. Now, does it help? Sure. But when you get another heavy dose that has a lot of rain potential, it does us absolutely no good in those circumstances. Let me run this out here. Make sure I got the right model pulled up. But yeah, I do. I already know I do. But look at this. Look, just kind of follow along with where those storms were going. And I think this is underestimating it in some cases, especially those numbers, because I didn't change those numbers like I was supposed to. But look at how quickly that is all changing right there. I mean, it is really trying to ramp up very quickly in all of those spots. Again, with more heavy rain. Okay. Now we're going to get the right numbers up there. There we go. All right. So look at that. Look at that. And watch this. This is about 10 o'clock tonight. We're still not finished. You get another big push that's trying to come through there. It's pushing some of those numbers slightly higher. And then you end up with a little more. But now you go beyond that, and it does settle down, because next week's going to be that hot and steamy week that we're going to run into. So that's what happens there. But from right now, from this point, from 1:30 up until about midnight tonight, there's another really solid chance. I'm going to give you a broad estimate. About 2 to 4 inches at least could be possible during that time. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. That's why we say ranges, because look at Russell Springs and then look at Campbellsville. As far as bird flies, it's not that far away, but the way it could all come together, and like the model's projecting, it might not be as extreme one place or the other. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with the rest of your day. If you're north and east of that, if you're in Lexington, if you're here with me in Winchester and places east, look, I mean, you get another 1/10 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, maybe 3/4. It's just not as much rain in those spots here the rest of the day. So take comfort in that, I suppose, because it's not going to be quite as rough. We've already seen enough rain out there to really last us a while. But there you see the streaks of all the activity. And notice out here where you've got all this lightning and stuff. You see that? See the lightning there around where the special weather statement is? Well, that's some of that rain that's going to shift in here. So if you've got a good heavy thunderstorm out there, that could really cause more issues, especially on the saturated ground that we have. That's the big time deal. Okay. That's the big time deal that we're facing. So a lot of this, what we're seeing is basically going to start traveling. You know what? I'm going to go with a red arrow. It's going to keep on trucking. I did it again. It's going to go like this right here. It's going to keep on moving like that. Okay. In this particular zone, those showers right there, I'm not drawing all the way back for all of them. And then you're going to have more that will try to shift in they're out here. It's not showing it because trust me, it's there, but it's just not showing because we're using a radar site here in Kentucky. But there's what we've got right now. I know a lot of you, you think back to 22 and 24 flood problems, 24, was it 24 or 25? Man, the years have been wild. Some of the floods last year and flooding around the Kentucky River, and then a lot of those spots we're not looking at significant river flooding. It doesn't look like, but what we're getting is a lot of flash flooding. Okay. That's what the majority of this is. So that's what we're trying to roll along with here. But that's the current picture, y'all. I mean, it is, and we're just cruising right along, trying to go into the rest of this day for you, and see what else happens as we do make our way through time. Some of you are asking about severe weather. Well, there is your severe weather outlook for today. You see the green and the yellow. The yellow takes you down through Nashville, Knoxville, where some of those other storms on the southern end of this, where the atmosphere is not quite as that, where they'll travel, and that you could spark some severe weather there. Better chance there. Here, maybe. It'd be very isolated. I don't really think we get a lot of that. I'm just more concerned, as I have been the past few days, even though I was told that I know nothing about weather. That was my main concern here, was all this flooding, and unfortunately, it's coming to pass out there in several of our counties. You look ahead to tomorrow; those warnings are just going to stay on. Well, actually, they don't have to. I can take them off. I can take off lightning. This is the SPC outlook for tomorrow. Gone from Kentucky, because after we get through the last little bit of this rain, we go into that very hot mode. Very, very hot. I mean, heat index 105 to 110 or more. I suspect we'll see some heat advisories out next week, which again, it's typical. I mean, we get heat index 95 to 100 all the time, but it doesn't make it any easier to deal with, my friends. It does not make it any easier. So as we peek in on some more of this rain, you see some of there, Campbellsville, out toward Horse Cave, for example, and then you got Glasgow. It's all traveling through there right now, and you've got, see, now when I switch radar sites, it doesn't look as extreme. That's why I had to go to the other side so we could see it a little bit better. But you look at there toward Munfordville, head toward Columbia, Russell Springs, Jamestown, right through there. So the increased threat of flooding is going to be in that stretch right there. That's coming up. As a matter of fact, let me flip over to Floodcast here again. All right, over the next 2 hours, these zones that you see are the most likely to have flash flooding. Now, some of these are already having flash flooding. That this right here, this is picking up on radar estimates so far, and what it also picks up on is how much rain is to go. So that right there in those areas, those two zones, you can see that it's elevated for a better chance of some of the high water issues. Okay, so I'll zoom around there, but right there, those two spots. I mean, just for example, I mean, there's a pretty good shot there that you're going to get it very high throughout that red. And then you find yourself out here where it's elevated. It's still certainly a threat and something that we're going to have to watch. But that, again, that's just based off of data and based off of current rain that has fallen. So it takes that all into consideration, kind of spits it out for you. Okay, so that is that on that particular setup and what's happening out there, y'all. Let me go back in and just look at pure radar data. Again, nothing severe with these. It doesn't have to be severe. You know, one of the major weather killers in the country is flooding. For a long time, it led the way. It has led the way. So it's rough, okay, because a lot of people get swept away in these floods by driving through them sometimes. Okay, now I will. I know y'all are commenting like crazy. I see that because I see them rolling up here on the side. But I'll take a few questions, and then we'll kind of wrap some of this up because that's what we do. There's Ruby Kahn over in Floyd County. Ruby, I think the worst of it's going to stay south of you. Okay, I really, really do. I think it's going to be right on track. What'd you say, Michael? You know everything. Well, I don't know if I know everything about weather because I've forgotten a lot, but thank you. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not. Owsley County. Let's look and see what this says here. Nearly 3 inches clearing off there. It's Tom Barrett spotter, or maybe that's your ham radio signature thing. That may be what it is. I can't remember. Tracy has sent a video. Tracy sent a video? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pull up our old Facebook here. I imagine you sent it on Facebook because Facebook's the best. And let's see. Well, let's just see what's in the inbox anyway. All right, here's Tracy. Okay, Tracy. Very, very, very wild. Okay. Now, let me get that onto my computer here really quickly. And then we will play that thing for everybody, okay? All right, all right, all right, all right. Oh, wow. You might have to, I don't know if it's got any sound or not because I can't hear anything on the speaker, but you might have to provide, Tracy, you might have to provide, some commentary over there as well. So this is in Jackson County, and I imagine that's probably McKee, right? Sadly, I've only been to Jackson County, into McKee once, but this is what Tracy, who we're talking to right here, just sent me. And look at that. Look at the way that water's flowing out there. Wow. Wow. Just incredible. Somebody couldn't even get their car out of the way. It happened oh so fast. Look at that. Now, that car's holding on for now, but I mean, it won't take much. Look at that. It just keeps on going. Again, this is the first time I'm seeing the video with you all. So, yeah, that's McKee, because right there is McKee. Is it St. Baptist Church? So, yeah, it's right in the middle of town. At the car, too. Look at the van off in the distance. Probably the church van, I imagine. I mean, I don't know. What street is that, Tracy? Comment what street that is. Wow. That is. I'll play that again for you all. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's just, and a lot of scenes are like that today, right now. A lot of it. But look, but you're seeing me right now. Olivia asking about Lee County. I think Lee County is getting in better shape right now, Olivia. I really, really do. Let's shoot that down for a second. Yeah, you're in much better shape. And it probably rains a little heavier again here soon, but I don't think it's anything overwhelming for you. I really don't. I think that the bulk of the heaviest stuff is continuing to kind of track south, and it's going, the overall flow is going south. The storm tracks are going south and east, but that kind of pulls you out of it. I know that doesn't make any sense at all, but it does. Okay. It makes perfect sense. Okay. I got, love you too, Olivia. So I already answered you. You haven't been to town yet. Okay. Not being sarcastic, you're a trusted source. Oh, well, thank you then, Michael. Michael, are you the one that asked me if you got a message earlier from my account? It's true. You did. You did. Yeah, that's me. That's me. Ironically, they call it Water Street behind the courthouse. So that's where, okay, so that's what Tracy shared with us. That video we just saw a few minutes ago, that is out of McKee, and it's Water Street. Well, I don't know if it is technically Water Street. She says, ironically, they call it. Maybe that is technically the full name of it too. I've got a graphic that illustrates that too here somewhere, Shane. But when I sit down, I just go into radar mode, and I forget my mind, man. I forget everything. I do. So you'll just sit tight, and you get to watch the, what is it? The man behind the curtain. Man behind the curtain, whatever it's called. Let's go in here and find that. And we'll talk about it, Shane. You are right, because some of this stuff is just crazy. Is this it? Insert. Come on. Now you all are seeing the raw stuff here. So, for example, look at this. And I haven't even cleaned this up and put anything on it, but look at this. So 6 inches of water, person swept away. 12 inches of water, car, SUV swept away. 18 inches of water, large vehicle swept away. Well, watch. This will give you some of the estimates. So there, you see this little car in our animation. It's doing the right thing, right? It's turning around. It's not drowning. That glitch in that graphic's awful. I didn't make this. It's just one that I have. But there you see. Now check this out. This one will show you the difference between a watch and a warning. Flash flood watch, be prepared. Flash flood warning, that means it's happening. I mean, you can see the water coming up there in a hurry for all of those folks. So anyway, just know your risks, clear storm drains. I tell you what, I've seen a lot of trouble with storm drains. I really, really have. Really have. Out of all this. So that's just a couple of things there, guys, to talk about. But again, remember the most important thing we just talked about. 6 inches of water can sweep a person away, especially it's flowing. Faster it's flowing too it can be crazy. And I've seen some of that video and it's really wild out there anyway. All right, but that's some of that. Let me go back to the flood risk graphic again because I want to show you all where some of the worst stuff is. Is that today's? No, no, I need day one. I need day one. Where'd you go, day one? There it is. So right there in that red, which is exactly what we've kind of highlighted with some of the heaviest rain, that's bearing down on you. That's what's bearing down on you too. Okay. Um, Somebody's asking that or saying that's behind the old courthouse going down Jackson to the Jackson County Public Library. So the video you just saw, if you were in here with us, that's what that was from. So that just gives more insight to all of this. Knox County, Troy. Right now, I would you might get a warning, a precautionary warning, but a lot of that heavier rain is still kind of sliding a little bit more. But I would still pay attention. Okay, I know I would still pay very close attention because you're still kind of right there in the crosshairs of all of that. But some of it's shifting a little bit more toward the south and west too. But that's your current picture. It's probably raining a little bit there now, and then you got more that's lined up just north of it. It's going to drop on in. All right, that's what to watch. And for those of you at home wondering what happens next, let me show you what is called a future scan. Okay, so this takes us and just takes kind of the current radar and it'll spit us out an hour or so worth of data and shows you how it's progressing. So yes, Troy, the rain will eventually get there, but there's a little bit of a jog for the overall stuff to go south of there as well. But just if you live in a low lying area, stay on guard and keep it going. Keep it going. You know what I mean? And as far as watching the situation. Rachel, hey Jim, tuned in late. How Monticello be better tomorrow morning. I'll be coming from Western Kentucky. Need to make a trip. I'm a little worried. Well, now that was in Jackson County, and you're kind of in there too, Rachel. Monticello is with the way this goes the rest of the evening. A lot of the heavy rain will be on top of that area too here in the next few hours, next several hours. So, will it be as extreme? It's tough to say. That's always the hardest part for me to try to make a call because it's hard to compare one place to the next when it's coming down to like how bad it gets, because some places it's bad if it's just in the road. Some places it needs to be even higher. So that's what we're looking at this particular moment. Lightning risk, it's very limited. I mean, there is some out there, but right now at this time, you can see that there's still some strikes all across Kentucky, and not only Kentucky, but look at this. You've got a few more that's out there that'll try to turn the corner and enhance some of the rain that's already falling, and so you'll get more with some of those. See how that's kind of moving along out there? Hit it right for Cape Girardeau. So more shower storms like that will try to feed in here and develop, which could produce heavy rain. And if you just look at let's look at the animation here, and just everything's kind of trying to drop on in toward Kentucky to give us a better chance of all that stuff. Okay. Where are we going next, Shane? Shane says keep a close eye on it. I don't know where he's talking about because he jumps in to answer questions as quickly as possible. Whitley County from Austin, Terry. Same kind of thing. I mean, a lot of this is shifting towards you. Some of the heaviest rain. That's what we're looking at. Justin, I have not seen any reports in Grant County. So it's certainly wet along the way, but I haven't seen any reports. That's it. You know what I mean? So if you're heading that way, I would use tremendous caution because just the rain factor itself. But again, I don't like to discourage anybody from traveling unless it's just I know it's awful. But if you need to go, you need to go. That's the thing. All right, we've got Estill County. Well, right now, Estill, if you look at it here, let's go back in. You're under a flash flood warning right now, but okay, there's there's urban. You can see urban. Um, Back up so we get less communities on there for a second. But there's urban right there. And, that's just kind of our middle point. And notice where most of that rain is now. It's just south. Well, there's still some rain that's up the road from you. And if you notice, watch this, you'll probably get another good dose of some of that that's like headed toward Nicholasville and you can see there's been an extension. The warning got extended there for a brief moment or two. Anyway, but what we're looking at here is that'll probably dive on in, give you another round of heavy rain. So that's kind of what to look for in this particular situation too. Okay. So there's already a warning. I don't know. I haven't seen any flooding. Let's see if there are any storm reports out for flooding. I don't see any yet. Oh, there's one. There's one lonely one. That's Elk Creek, Kentucky. And it just says flash flood, meaning that there is flooding that has happened in that area. So that's one of the storm reports that came out of there too. Okay. So it's all about that trajectory here the next little bit. Corbin, London. If you're asking about severe weather, probably in pretty good shape. Okay. Probably in pretty good shape. I just don't think the chance is super elevated out there for that today, even though it's showing up. I just don't think so. Karen, we have a splash pad party booked for 6:30 to 8:30 in Moorhead. I tell you what, it's looking better, Karen. It's looking better as far as the rest of the day because as I said, a lot of this is pulling away from there. But what I will also say, like there you see Moorhead. See, most of this stuff is south and it stays south, but there might be something isolated go up. Okay. I've seen model indicators that are trying to suggest at least something scattered, but as far as it just flowing like this, non freaking stop, no, I think that's over for you. Okay. So just be careful in planning, with the rest of the day. Who's Ryan? Did somebody else respond to you? My name's Jim. You make me sad, Anthony. Oh, you do? Yeah, I get you. I get you. Sharon, I know what you're worried about. I know exactly what and where you're worried up there. Off 7. What is that called? It just escaped me. I can see it. I can see it right now. Anyway, no, I think you're all right. I do think you're all right. Okay. I do. What is that? What is that called? Is that the metas? Is that the metas? Is that what it's called there? I think that is. You'll have to tell me. Because my mind, I've been gone 20 years from over there. I just realized that the other day. Richmond flooded all over town. Many rescues ongoing. That's the thing. So any break in the rain that they can get there in Richmond, they need it because of rescues and things like that are ongoing. And I'm sure we're going to hear more about that over the next little bit. Okay. Let's go to this one. Let me see what that says. Tiffany Wilson Huff. Okay, so you made your way from Waco to Richmond, and that's Urban Road, right? Or Old Urban Road, right? And in that case, how bad was it? How bad was it? I mean, like compare it to what it could be like on a car or something to that effect. Because I'm just pulling information together so I can figure it out too. Monticello severe weather. The CT. The biggest thing that I'm going to be worried about for you all now is maybe a good heavier thunderstorm. One of them might be a little stronger, but because you do have some thunderstorms that are building that are right out there just west of you. But we're kind of going to go in with the flood threat for you as well. See, this right here is the radar picture right now. A better look for storms that are dropping in, and that's headed right towards you. Okay, good, Sharon. I thought my mind went blank. I'm sorry. I know you're right there close to Rolton. but or is it? I don't think you're seeing any high water yet. I haven't seen any indication of that. So, so you should be pretty good the rest of the day. So tough in Casey County, desperately need the rain, but you can't have too much in such a short amount of time. That's right, Sean. That is absolutely the truth. We've learned that a million times. Estill County prayers for all the flooded areas today, and there are quite a few. There are quite a few, my friends. They were. Tiffany says the roads were shut down and up to the windows on cars. And again, that was Irvin Road, right? So you're traveling from Waco to Richmond, and that was shut down. Wow, that is just incredible. And then she's telling me there too. She says that water rescue is ongoing out there, and a lot of you all you've got scanners, and you can listen to scanners left and right, and you're going to get more information quicker than I am through some of the means that I've got here as well. Pike and Letcher counties. I think Pike, you're going to fare okay. I really do. And Letcher County is probably going to ramp up some rain. Matters on which part of the county you're in, but that's about the extent of that. You're very welcome, Trish. I'll call you cousin Trish. How about that? Since you've got the best last name in the world. Are we under possible tornado? I saw something was upgraded near Pulaski County. The only thing that you've got in Pulaski, as far as that's concerned, is let me turn this off for a second. You do have kind of an elevated chance, very, very small. It's a marginal risk. It's a level 1. Sometimes these can cause some issues. Sometimes they don't. A lot of times they don't. Okay. That's what a lot of this is. I'm more worried about y'all getting some heavier rain the next little bit. I don't think you've seen a tremendous amount of rain. I don't think that's been the case, because look at that. I mean, this is the past 7 days worth of rain, and you haven't had a lot. You go other places and they've had a lot. This is just a quick reference for me, but most of Pulaski, you get a hard enough amount, it could do it. It could do it. It could still run your totals up pretty good, but this helps. This helps that it hasn't been extreme in the last little bit here either. Okay, let me go back to just seeing what's happening, popping up some warnings, and since I've been on, I've noticed, I talk a lot, so I don't notice everything. I haven't seen a lot of new warnings go up at all out there. Let's see. Just going to check the phone to see if there's anything. I've got it over here on my supercharger. Y'all see all this stuff? And okay. Nothing new. I'll check Facebook over here too. I was trying to check it there, but for some reason it's slow on my phone. Very low though, Macy. Very low, to get back to your question. Shane Smith has the right idea, my friends. Keeping an eye on chances, but higher risk southwest of y'all. And that's pretty much for a lot of us. Okay. If you're in what I consider like the mountain counties, the true mountain counties, and you're like you go out to Round County. Round County's not super mountainous, but it's, you've got some hill. Anywhere south of that is going to be like south and west of that. It's going to be the targeted zone for all of this. Okay. All right, Ruth, where do you live? I know you're talking to somebody else in these comments, but I'm just curious. When I see comments like that, you've never seen water in certain places, that always jars me a little bit for stuff like that. So let's just watch the radar. Y'all let Shane talk to you or answer any questions that you all might have, because he will. He's a smart cookie. He's a real smart cookie. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. All right. This is we're gonna pop one up here. And again, I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, y'all. And that should have gone in there. And did it go in there? Where did you go? I'll just open it from right here. All right, this is a photo. Just open it up through regular window stuff, guys, because when I'm only one sitting here, it's hard to do a lot. Okay. This as Richmond, East Main, and the bypass off in the distance. So that's at East Main there. And I'm trying to imagine where that is. I do go, oh, look at that car. This is why I tell you all, don't go. Don't go. You all, Casey Grace shared these with us, or this one with us. Don't go into that water. I swear to God, it's not worth it. I swear. And Casey's also pointing out here that 52 is closed, and as it should be. Hopefully they got an armed guard there to keep people from going through this ridiculousness. Man. But again, that's Richmond right there. Casey Grace shared that with us here in the past few minutes. I thought I pulled up another one. Let's see. Is that right there at Man? I couldn't figure that out because I saw one from Man earlier, but it was the other direction, Patricia. So I didn't know which way that was going because I saw one at the bypass and Urban Road, and I knew it was Man because I could see Man off in the distance. This might be just a different angle that I'm not as familiar with. 52 and the bypass, Mike Cosby says. Okay. All right. Thank you. Wow. All right, Clintonville Road. Kate, I haven't really heard anything here for us around our area. We're not under a warning. Let me pull that picture down. I can never pull it down. Here it is. Goodbye picture. So we're actually, look at us. We're dry right now. It's probably going to rain again, but we're not in line to see anything significant here in Winchester and then into Paris. We're not. They have closed off, Keisha says. I guess she's talking about back there at the bypass. It's just awful in Richmond, y'all. It is. It is just awful. And Casey is confirming that's right by Man. Okay, thank you. I saw a different angle earlier than this one, so. All right, Shane. I hit Shane. I didn't mean to hit Shane. It's where Lake Reba is going the back way, Keisha says. Okay. Oh, yeah, it is. I know because you go back down Urban Road and then you turn. If you're going out that way, then you go right. You go right and you can come in the backside. That's right. Yep. I know exactly where you are. Olive Hill. Darlene Varney Witt. With a last name like Varney, or an original last name like Varney, were you from Pike County by chance? We're just here to chat. But you're good. Oh yeah, you're gonna be fine there in Olive Hill. A lot of that stuff shifted away from you. Other than a little stray shower, you're gonna be in much better shape. Laurel and Clay, it's gonna ramp up here a little bit more in a few minutes, guys. And it probably already has. And it was really getting ready to start raining much heavier there in Laurel County, especially, and then over into Clay County too. We've had some flooding, some real flooding, major flooding in like McKee, just north of you up there. So that's it. Yeah. Vicky Jones, subdivisions off 52 and the trailer park flooded. Oh wow, that is heartbreaking right there, y'all. I'm not getting a lot of stuff in the inbox here, so that helps me. That doesn't help me tell the story. Okay, this right here. All right, we're gonna download this one. Well, actually, we're gonna just play it. Oh wow. So this is Sandy Johnson, y'all. She'd shared this, and this is in. Let me see what Heather here says. 421 near Dean Road and Sand Gap. That's what this is. That's what we're looking at right now. Look at that. That's Jackson County. So a minute ago, we're asking about counties south of that. This is what they've been dealing with. They got a lot more. They got a lot more rain though. Again, I'm just watching this with you for the first time too. Somebody sent it. Somebody shared it. And I don't know if y'all are hearing the sound or not. I have no idea because I don't hear anything. Maybe if I hit the sound button, it'll come on for us. I mean, there's not much to hear. Maybe, well, we never know. Well, this isn't. Yeah, the sound button is off. It sure is. Anyway, that's, oh gosh, there's a little baby right there. Trying to get that little baby out of there. Oh my gosh, that is so heartbreaking, you all. Now, red lines go away. Wow. It's hard. Yeah, that just breaks my heart, y'all. All we got to do is we just got to be better. We got to be better about not going through water and stuff. You just got to. I know it seems like we can do it. I know it does, but phew, thank you all. Thank you all. Trailer park on 52 West across from EKU is underwater with rescues also on Lancaster Road. Flash flood emergency. I mean, that's what that turns into once you start going into rescues like that. Rescues. Shane, do you still have access to the Weather Service chat? Because I got kicked out. So if you've got it, let me know. You probably got kicked out too, or maybe you didn't because you're stinkier than I am. All right, we've got more stuff coming in. A lot more stuff coming in. Oh, I've got a whole album here now from Jackson County. I'll try to get up here for you. Okay, Casey just sent some more. Oh, wow. Casey just sent some more. All right, we're going to look at them here together, y'all. We are. Shane texted me, y'all, to answer that question. Well, I think that I think we still fit the requirements to get one, don't you? I really do. All right, this is 52, she says. Casey Grace sent this. And that's 52. What's that sign right over there? Let's see what that says. I can't tell what it says. I'm just curious. Oh, you all didn't even see that, did you? You all didn't see that. Let me pull it up here. So that's 52, y'all. That's 52. That's from Casey Grace, who was on here with us. Tell me where this is. Tell me, that's a trailer park, clearly. So tell me where that is, Casey or somebody. Somebody's down there. Give me a little guidance. I mean, see if we can get a little guidance out of it. So, all right, wait, there's Casey. All right, Casey, where are these? So right now, the one on the screen, Casey, of the trailer park here. Where is that exactly? Mike's saying that's the entrance to the armory. That right there is armory on the backside of this. Is that what, or oh, that the picture I showed you a second ago is armory. Gotcha. Yeah, now I've got you. I'm with you. I'm with you now on all of that. She sent another one too here. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up for you here. It's this one right here. Yeah. Oh, this is actually in that trailer park. It's in that trailer park. Y'all see that? Wow. It's up high on that Chevy, up on high on those trailers, mobile homes, whatever. Yeah. Wow. Sperlin Trailer Park. Sperlin Trailer Park is what Mike says right there. So that's where that is. I mean, it's just incredible. It's not incredible in a good way. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that every time I see these, and I've seen flooding for 100 years. Grew up on the Licking River, and had it happen in front of me all the time, and it never gets easier to see. Never. All right. Bonnie Howard has just shared something with me. This, oh my gosh. Let me get these pictures loaded up here real fast. These are just pictures that she's gotten a hold of too. Bonnie has gotten a hold of. So this is, she says this is Million Church on Tates Creek Road in Richmond. So that's out on, that's a pretty remote road for those of you that have never traveled it. And it's out there, country road. I mean, it is what it is. It's country road. So that's one. Let's see. That's the same one. What's this one? I guess somebody sent these to her. Oh, wow. I mean, you can actually, oh man, that's heartbreaking. Look at that. There's the actual steeple. Oh, I mean, it's completely gone. Completely gone. Well, that's just heartbreaking. Oh, wrong one. Here's a wider view of that. Here's a wider view. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's just wow. Anybody know if this is where the where it was? If that's the foundation I'm looking at right there, is that it that we're seeing right there? It's just sad, you know. It's just sad. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. I mean, I mean, there's nothing else we can say, you know, at this point. I mean, Vicky, if you're in here, you just sent me that message. Where are these pictures so we can get some reference on them? I have to show you all some more. It's like a fairly newer home too. I sent you a message back too to ask you where these are. So we're waiting on Vicky to get back with me to tell me exactly where this is happening. Huh. Look at the gazebo here, y'all. Took it out. Again, wherever this is. Sorry if I just stop, y'all. I sometimes I get just caught in the moment, like, wow, it's hard to see it and hard to process it. Again, seen it 1,000 times. Yeah, it looks pretty rough over there. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right, Dia. It has been a tough one. Okay, Vicky finally responded on those pictures I showed you a minute ago, and she says it's Oxford Circle subdivision off of 52. Those last pictures I showed you, that's what those were. Beverly, you just send it. There's a messenger spot you can send it to. Okay, look at this. Look at this, y'all. Flash flood emergency now issued there in Jackson County. Well, that we know that. We know that after seeing everything that we've seen. Flash flood emergency now in and underway in Sand Gap and in the city of McKee. So this elevates it. That means water rescues are currently currently happening. It means a lot. It really, really does. So flash flood emergency now out in that area. Let's just look back at rainfall that they've picked up here since you've got that's a rough terrain. Okay, that's a very um, the topography there is just very sliding down the mountain, go in. So you've got a lot of high spots that feed into some of those lower areas, and you can get that quickly. You can get that quickly, and I'll just pop this up there for just a second. There's Shane, but yeah, Shane's talking flash flood emergency too. But look at this. Let me go back. I just want to look at the past 3 hours. In the past 3 hours of rain, okay, these are radar estimates. How much have they had in McKee? Oh man, they've had 2.5 inches. They've had 2.5 inches, like right around McKee. Well, you know what? Let's look at the last 6 hours. They've had 3.5 inches there. And then we look at the last 12 hours. You've had 4.6. And then we go 24 hours and you've had 5 inches of rain. And that's a lower spot right there that I'm looking at. So, and here's the catch: all of that will slide down the creek streams going to any other larger bodies of water, and then it causes them to become elevated and swollen and flooded. So that man, that's happening. That is sad. That is sad. That's just a lot of rain there. But flash flood emergency now underway in McKee. And I'll go back and show you all some of the stuff that we've seen already from this in the past few minutes. We'll look at Shane using his fancy math. Look at that. 1 inch of rain over 1 square mile is 17 million gallons. So this is why I keep Shane around. He's got the mind. I'm old and he's got the mind. So we've already seen some of the images out of there. Okay, we've seen some of it. We're going to go back and just kind of revisit some of the things that we've seen so far in and around the area. I'm going to go back down to what I had from McKee a little earlier. This is in McKee. That's Water Street, we're told. That's Water Street. And look at all that rain. Look at that water flowing like crazy. So this is why you've got a flash flood emergency out there. Okay. Thank you, Ollie. I appreciate it. I appreciate you very, 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 very much. But yeah, that's going down by again, I'm reading that sign as McKee Baptist Church. So flash flood emergency underway there. So we'll try to get more information on what's happening there. went back to get all the wording for a flash flood emergency, and the way it is now worded is exceedingly rare, extremely heavy rain, severe threat to human life, catastrophic damage from flash flood is happening or will happen soon, and typically emergency officials are reporting life-threatening water rises and water rescues at that point. See, I always knew an emergency meant that, but I mean, it means catastrophic damage too. That's just one of those things you forget through the years, but that's a big deal, y'all. That's a big, big deal. Waco to Richmond, Kristen, I'd sit if you're trying to go, I'd sit right still because we have never. I mean, some of the roads haven't been open, so the road hasn't been open. So that's what we're getting. Okay. Yeah, life-threatening situation. That's the tagline officially, and the warning from the National Weather Service in Jackson. Life-threatening situation in place in Jackson County. All right, here's what the full report says. Local law enforcement there in Jackson County are reporting widespread flash flooding, as we've seen. Ongoing water rescues in Jackson County between 3 and 6 inches, which we've seen too, measured, have fallen there, and we've got more to go through. This is a life-threatening situation. Life-threatening out there. And it can turn into that not only here, we're just kind of locking in on this one because this is a really serious situation, but it can turn that way for a lot of us out there in a hurry, especially the areas that have already picked up a lot of rain and you're still kind of in it. So, yeah. I didn't, I knew we would come on and we would talk a lot about weather and all that and kind of dig in on some of these, but that's tough, man. It's tough to see all this stuff that's starting to come out because that was scares you to death so much. All right, so they're doing. There's reports of some action in Richmond too, unconfirmed, but some action meaning some maybe more water. There comes the emergency. Right there it is. Yeah. So that backs up what I was kind of reading over here. Now flash flood emergency in place in Richmond and also in Lancaster. I hadn't really seen or heard anything out of Lancaster, but look at this flash flood emergency again now issued there. There are. Give me a second. Let's see, and I'm gonna figure things out here. Emergency management reported 3 to 7 inches. We know that. Flash flood emergency. I'm trying to see some of the specifics if anything's happened. Okay, I don't see anything officially in this, but there are unconfirmed reports of some rescues happening. Okay, which would make sense because we've seen some of the video and some of the pictures out of Richmond, and we know that. But it is already flash flooding. It's already flooding, but now this is considered a threat to human life and perhaps catastrophic damage. And that does stretch from Garrett over into Madison County. If you're out east, if you're in Eastern Kentucky, if you're in Pike County, you're in Johnson County, you're good. You can hang out with us and watch. But I just don't really see anything like this happening out there anywhere close. Alarm going off. Are you in Madison County, Belinda? Is it your phone? Is it your phone that's doing that? Is it one of those situations where you got the emergency alert on the phone, the full-blown thing? There we are. 2 flash flood emergencies. 2 flash flood emergencies out right now for the folks in Richmond, Lancaster. It says Berea, though I haven't had anything. I haven't had anything, any report or any messages or anything come through on that. Mine's till 5:15. What are we talking about here? Oh, let me get to this one. I live in Union City. We had 5 inches this morning, and that's the issue right there. That's the big ticket item. That is. Well, gonna look at a couple of things here while you all are just watch that radar, okay? I don't need the forecast. I need that data. In the past 12 hours at one of the other stations, Adrian, I was trying to look at these totals. I haven't been given privy to have this information shared yet. But 12 hours worth of actual rain measurements have parts of Madison County at 3. So 5 really, really a possibility. I mean, it really is, especially with what we're seeing out there. And then the 24-hour total that I've got is 4.5 actual measured. Actual measurement. So just like what you're saying there. And I've got quite a few of those. Oh, you've got the radio. Okay, right, because they do that. That's right. I forgot that they had to send everybody one of those for this. That's right. Yeah. Because of in case something ever happened out there. You know, took off the storm track option. Wonder why they did that for. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Candy says it poured there too. Hello, Teresa. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hey, there's my wife, y'all. There she is. I don't know who she's. I don't know who she's saying hi to. Unless Candy Mead up there for sure. So yeah, there's my lovely wife. Everybody, she's upstairs. Rather than down here gathering information for me, she's upstairs. It's all right. It's all right. That's how we get along. That's how we get along. Okay. I'm going to back this map up a long way for y'all, okay? And I want you to see that across this entire country, that right there is probably the worst current situation in the U.S. under flash flood emergencies. Now think about that. That's how bad this is for them to issue these emergencies. And God help us. I hope we don't get reports of any casualties out of this. That's what I'm hoping for at this point. You just, at this point, there's a ton of damage out there, but then you have to worry about some of the other stuff as well. Are you going to work now?
Why are you talking about me?
Are you going to work now?
What do you need me to do?
No, I'm just kidding with you. I'm kidding. That's the wife right there, y'all. But flash flood emergencies, like I said, the most action we have anywhere in the country, the most significant. Yeah, sure is. How much more rain do I think you all have in Richmond tonight? Well, some of the models are really good to give you some really good guidance, but sometimes they just can't peg those numbers down. And so we have to kind of look at what's been happening and how these other storms have been reacting and what they've been doing. So this is where the personal touch comes in. And sometimes you have to estimate a little higher, a little lower, whatever that case may be. Whatever that case may be. Sorry, when I get messages over here, I'm trying to look at them, trying to pull as much information as I can out of them, so I can get that to you, because it's all about the direct contact. I'm trusting you all not to lead me astray, because we're doing this in a hurry, but we can always kind of back up. But starting to thunder again. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is, Becky. Yeah, it's a good little storm there. Okay, all right, Renee Turner over here sending me these shots. Again, just going through. Going through here. All right, y'all give me just a second. I'm looking at some stuff here, okay? If you're just jumping in here and joining us, y'all, sorry, I kind of got distracted trying to get some information here on the side. But we have some very heavy rain ongoing across Kentucky in areas that have already been considered a flash flood emergency, and that does include the city of Richmond, the city of McKee, also included in on that. And we have found that we've received several very, very disturbing videos and pictures. When it'll be completely out, you got a couple, 2-3 more hours, I would imagine, before it really gets going out of here. But it's going to stay pretty active here for the next little bit too. So let's all just kind of watch how that plays out. Unfortunately, it's sad. It's a rough day out there for sure. For many folks in Kentucky. I told you this is probably the worst weather situation in the country right now. Okay, as far as active situation, just judging by looking at all the other warnings and other odds and ends that are out there. And again, I apologize to all of you as I'm just trying to get some of this information out there best I know how. I'm trying to find some of it too. All right, hold steady. And we're back. Sorry about that little interruption. Just trying to look at everything I could find. I could find on everything. Bryan Station Road from Lexington to Paris is flooded. It's drivable as of right now, but it's still flooded. So hopefully you're saying we can get around it because that's worst. That's the worst. Yeah, and that's right, Sean. Flooding is a much bigger cause of death in weather-related scenarios than tornadoes. Typically, there's some anomalies some years where you get a big uptick in them, but yeah, that's right. No, I think you're improving overall, Carrie. Will it rain again? Probably, but it's going to be an improving forecast for you. I'm not as well. Maybe in Murray, it could be a little more on the strong to severe side, Hunter, but um, there could be more south of you. But yeah, there's a shot of that if you're out there in Murray. There's maybe a little more, for lack of better terms, a little more juice to kind of feed these storms to that capacity. So, and you're fine. I mean, that's why we keep it open. We just talk. Is we're just trying to answer questions. All right, no new update on some of our warnings out there. And no progression eastward either, by the way. So that's not a bad thing. Look at this as it jumped over the mountains, into the mountains, really. That's kind of ramped up to 40 to 50 mile per hour guster there with that storm. Now, those were in eastern Kentucky. And the reason, Hunter, you were on here a second ago, the reason I'm saying that is because that southern flank of this, it does look like it's got a little more juice to it, a little more instability to work with. So it could fire up a storm or two out there. You see, there you are in Murray. I mean, for example, and it's already storming off in the distance. So yeah, there's a chance that you might get a little more in the way of severe weather. As if some of these start dropping in, you got more out toward Paducah. Some of these will start turning the corner soon too, and that's what's going to help kind of drive up more of these other thunderstorms. So, but yeah, I mean it's worth a watch out there. It's a little more elevated. The severe weather chance is for that part of the state right now, because they have not been as zapped as we have been here so far. Okay, what just happened? Okay, there we go. There we go. We're back. We're back. Back to normal. Flash flood emergencies ongoing. Water rescues, potential casualties. That's the unconfirmed word that we are getting on this. And by we, I mean me and you. And by me and you, I mean me and all of you. Water's starting to shed off the cover of the mountains. It's at a pretty high rate. Those of you in low-lying areas might want to head to higher ground while the getting's good. That's the biggest problem with flooding in eastern Kentucky. Mallory, I don't believe that I have seen any issue on the interstate, other than the fact that it's it's going to pour. But I don't see. Let me check some of this other data. I don't have traffic in this system, so I have to kind of go to state stuff and other spots for it. Yeah, for the most part, it's fine. I mean, just wet, but it's not flooded at any point. I mean, just be careful if you have to travel in this, because it's going to be, coming down pretty heavy. Well, it's probably about to rain a little better for you too there. Okay. So let's kind of zoom in, try to check it out to answer your question. And I don't want to lose my place here. I've got to watch this map. But there you see all that activity kind of cranking up a little more to the north of you. You see, you're plotted on the map now. So some of that rain that's been over here in like Jackson County, likely going to come at you soon. And it is not as heavy as it was, but it's still going to be a good moderate shower. But a lot of the worst end stuff's going to happen in some of these other communities. Okay. Mallory, I'm an employee in Lexington who lives in Bridge, trying to figure out a safe time for her to leave. That's always a tough one. That's always a tough one. And I appreciate you actually caring. Some employers make you work no matter what and make you drive no matter what. What about Russell Springs? Well, now in Russell Springs, Kaylee, you have started to ramp up a little bit more too, with some thunderstorm activity. And it's just kind of really beginning for you, because now I think we're going to open it up a little bit more, and you're going to get a few more rounds that will kind of roll over top of all of that too, time after time. So that's where we're going with a lot of that. You're very welcome. Very welcome. Any tornado concern for London? Samaya, no. No, I'd have none whatsoever out of any of this. No. Where'd Rayanne go? I just saw that comment. There it goes. All right, there's Rayanne. Is Richmond getting hit again anytime soon? It's so bad here with the flood. I know it is too. I know. And the catch is we're going to keep on cranking out some heavier rain there. Okay. Into Richmond. There's more that is on the way. Now, is it as heavy as it was? No, but it's still enough to just keep it kind of nasty in those spots. Winchester, Master, we're actually pretty much in the good. Andrea, we're pretty much in the good as far as that's concerned now. So that's positive. In a world where you can't find any. No, Caitlin, I really don't have any. Lucy, that is flash flood emergencies. Those flash flood emergencies mean that it is life-threatening. There are water rescues. There have been reports of water rescues in both areas. That's why it's flashing, to get your attention, because it really is bad there right now. So that's what I've seen with all of that, and why it's flashing like that is to get a little more attention on those. That's what we're looking at with them. Is that inbox? All right, y'all. But yeah, hopefully that answered it. But the rain's still coming, and here's what we're gonna do. I'm probably gonna wrap this coverage up here, because I mean there's nothing more that I can do at this particular moment in time, except kind of we can talk about it more. But um, I'm gonna go gather some facts too, because there's plenty of them, plenty of facts to be gathered. So let's show you an hour by hour. Okay, find where you are. Okay, find where you are, because I'm gonna play this in very slow mode. I'm actually dragging the mouse. I'm not even putting it in a play mode. So this is at 3 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock. So it shows you that a lot of this drops a little more southeast and then southwest too. So here we go. 5 o'clock, Richmond, you're catching a little bit of a break. Then look at this. Okay. This is why there was an extension to the flood watch, or the flash flood watch, that runs through tomorrow, because then tonight it blows up again. So tonight, and these are going to be heavy rain producers. So then what this will do is it cranks it up again. We get more heavy rain into the early morning hours on Sunday. And then finally, it will start to ease up quite a bit. But now there's going to be a pretty decent window out there for a lot of folks where they dry up. But then the next round comes into play. And that one right there looks heavy again. So we'll watch all that shift through. So here's the next hour, and it's still raining throughout most of central Kentucky, and a lot of the areas that have been hit really hard. But then by later on tonight, here's the evening. It's quiet for a while. Then here comes your next push. More thunderstorms. Okay. More thunderstorms right there. Okay, y'all. If you hear anything, see anything, know anything, let me know. Send them, share them, whatever you need to do. There's also a new chat feature that has been activated on this. It's called What's on Jim's Radar, and you will be able to have live conversations through that as well. And before we go, I want to go back and show and talk to Hunter, who's out there in Murray. See, this is why I said you might get some severe thunderstorms, because they've now issued a severe thunderstorm watch out there in western portions of Kentucky. So that's kind of addressed where I was talking about. You still had instability, you still had some energy, and it's there. Boom. And now you've got a watch that could be conducive for severe thunderstorms in those areas. I don't think so here. I don't think Richmond. I think you're fine as far as that's concerned. I think all these areas have been hit hard. If anybody pops something that could be a little stronger, it's probably going to be within this area here over the next couple of hours, maybe. Like in Burnside right now, it's pretty heavy. There might even be a little bit of hail in that. But that's where we would see the best shot of something like that trying to come together. But western portions of Kentucky also out there as well that are trying to fire up and get a little stronger here later on today. That's why there's a severe thunderstorm watch out there for that. Let me I need to look at the time on that. I'll go to the farthest west. So it goes through 9 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock Central time. Then what else do I want to do here? That's it, I guess. But we'll, if anything else kind of breaks, I'll post and whatnot, and we'll get you up to date on anything else that happens here in the next little bit. Let's see. I need different data. Give me just a second. I want to look at something. Okay, what is going on? Okay, that's off the road. Oh, what's this? No, I want to know this. Oh, that's just some road work. I'm trying. I keep seeing people asking about 75, and I don't see anything problematic that's caused anything on just the general traffic reports. All the way down into. I'm all the way in London right now. I mean, it's going to be slow and at spots because it's going to rain. But here's what we need to do. We need to think of our friends there, and definitely Madison and Jackson counties, because it is rough there. We already know it. We already see it. We already know there are active searches for people happening right now. So let's keep them in your thoughts. And I know we hate hearing this, thoughts and prayers. If you don't pray, just send out some good energy out into the atmosphere for them, because it is a very bad day for them. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I love you. And if you need me, I'll be back. But as far as a substantial threat of new, more high water issues in these spots that we're looking at where we have a flash flood emergency, I don't think we're going to see a significant rise. Most of it's already happened. So I love you all. I appreciate you. And we'll talk soon if need is there.